Every day, students at Saratoga High walk the halls of one of the highest-ranking high schools in the country. Saratoga High is a school anyone would be lucky to attend. But is there something beyond above-average test scores, million-dollar houses, and the expectations of perfection? It is difficult to think beyond the just another face in the hallway mentality, but every student has an untold story. In a safe, affluent community, few are willing to admit that there is something wrong.
I think there are definitely some people that are afraid to be themselves.
In fact, teens in affluent communities are twice as likely to be depressed as teens in lower income communities. So where can students go to seek help? And are they willing to ask for it?
After the student themselves and their family members, there's Common Roots, there's Cassie, there's the guidance department, there's teachers, there's office staff, any adult on campus, and there's their peer group, their own friends.
The 3 Cassie counselors on campus are trained specifically to help with problems that are going on in students' lives, both on and off campus.
This school year at Cassie, we have met with 250 students, which to me is a huge number. I think there's about 1,400 or 1,500 students at the school, so that's somewhere between 15 and 20% of the population, which is a really good number.
However, not all students are comfortable with going to adults despite the security of total confidentiality.
It just feels like your friends and your classmates would know more about what you're going through.
Like, I could have reached out a little more to like Cassie counselors and like my school counselor. I could have, asked for support from them. But also I think that it's almost easier to talk to people that are like my age and kind of know exactly like what this like Saratoga mold is.
In response, students have created their own peer-to-peer counseling group called Common Roots, with the intention to provide a place for students to get help from people they feel they have more in common with.
Common Roots, I think, is a place where students can go if they need a place to stay, if they need a friend, or if they need someone to talk to. And I think that's why it's so awesome, because a lot of the times we can feel like we're alone, even when we have thousands of friends surrounding us. And sometimes when you feel alone, you just need a safe place to go, and Common Roots is that safe place.
Another student-made group has been reaching out to students and the community as a whole. Humans of Saratoga High give students the option to share their stories with their communities via social media, allowing for a further outreach and hoping to create a more accepting community.
Sometimes in just that short 5-minute conversation, someone can say something that they might not even tell their closest friends. Maybe their family doesn't even know.
Okay, alright.
Humans of Saratoga High is definitely a different way of reaching out and making sure that people talk about the things that need to be talked about.
I think opening up to Humans of Saratoga was a positive experience. I mean, I got a lot of like feedback. I scrolled through the likes on my picture once, and like I realized there were people from like totally random schools, and like one of them was from like Las Vegas, and like it was just like crazy to see that like my message had been spread so far. Whereas like if I were to just talk to a counselor, I mean, I didn't think like I was making a difference.
So the administration in the Cassie, they're run by adults. They're run by administrators. They're run by people that, they are looking out for us, but they may not necessarily know exactly what we're going through. So I think that, groups like Humans of Saratoga High, which place other individuals or other students in the same shoes or in the same positions as us, we can really understand what others are going through. And, those groups are really, really awesome for making us feel safe and making us feel like we're not alone.
Of course, none of these options are a perfect solution for every student.
You find it on all ends. You find students that want to talk with other students. You find students that want to talk with adults just because they think an adult perspective might be a better perspective.
Each system has its flaws and strengths, but in reality, the most effective way to solve this issue is for these groups to work together to create a more welcoming and supportive community. As agents for change, these groups have responsibility to provide an environment where students feel comfortable enough to seek help when they are struggling. Only this will create a more welcoming culture at Saratoga High.